Okay, one of the things that is really prevalent throughout the system and that you've probably seen multiple times is the secondary language feature. And you can see that whenever you input an item, there is that bar there that's available. It says secondary language. Now again, this feature has Spanish and then 2 versions of Chinese that's native to the system, okay? Now, let's discuss when to use this. There may be times where, let's say, the back of the house employees don't really speak very good English, but they speak great Spanish. And you actually want to get the highest propensity for orders to go out correctly. So what you're going to do is you're going to have those receipts print, that the kitchen chits print in Spanish and English. And that's what the secondary language feature is for. So let's look at one individual item and then watch as well how we can send those items to the kitchen. So we're in Store Settings. We're going to go to the Print tab, okay? Then we're going to go to the Multilingual sub-tab, okay? And right here, you're going to be able to see all these. The guest check shows secondary language also. Packager receipt. The kitchen bar use both languages. Kitchen use secondary language. This is what you're going to choose. So you can choose a primary language right here for your kitchen, or if you're going to have bar remote printing, you can have that as well. So you can see that that's where you're going to have those multiple printing options in that respect. So now let's go to Station Settings. And what we're going to do here is we have station language right here. So you can actually, instead of just having a global setting, you can actually go to an individual station as well, and you can have these languages that are already available, okay? Now the other thing that's pretty great is that throughout the system, when you saw those little places for a secondary language, it just basically you can toggle between the two, and we'll show you in just a second. The great thing about it is these have that language native. Now, you'll see what it's going to look like in just a second, but here's some other language settings. You see that there's English, there's the Chinese, there's Spanish, French, Korean, Thai, Vietnamese, German, Italian, Japanese, Farsi, Arabic. You know, you can see all of these are here, okay? And what text and what font is actually going to be used and what char set's going to be used, okay? Or the character set. So the thing you want to keep in mind is that these are available as well. Native to the system are the English, Chinese, both versions, and then Spanish. Now, you can also use the language pack within Windows to make adjustments as well. And let's take a look at that. We're going to go look at a menu item, okay? And let's actually just get some. So we see the chicken fingers here. We're in the kids menu, okay? So what you can do as well, and I've already set this one up, what we basically did was this secondary language name right here, we put in here. Now, all those different modification options on how to actually have a specific language display on the receipt or specific language display in the terminal, this is going to let you toggle between the two, but it's going to show the primary, whichever one you choose in that station setting. Now we're actually going to go to the point of sale, and we're going to look at all these different settings, okay? So we've enabled the secondary language, and let's just see what it feels like to be a server or be a cashier and ring in an order and not speak as great of English or read as great of English. And let's see what it looks like here. Let's go to Dine In. And then we're actually going to go to that kids menu again. Again, this is just that one item, okay? So what we're going to do is you can actually have a button appear here. But right now, we don't have it as a necessary function. You can actually have the secondary language button populated there. But let's hit that miscellaneous key, and let's go to secondary language. And you see this changed from chicken fingers to pollos niños. So basically, child fingers is what I made it. So you can see right there that is going to have that secondary language, and you can change it back to English very easily, go into primary language, and it's back to chicken fingers, okay? Now the other thing that we can do is we can assign a specific language type for an individual employee. So it doesn't have to be per station or per printer or per position. It actually can be per employee. So let's go to Employee Setup, Employee Files. Let's choose Oscar again. And you can see right now that we have the preferred language right here. So we're actually going to go to Spanish. Apologize. We're going to go to Spanish, and we're going to save and done. And you're going to see when I click onto the next screen, all of these functions are going to be in Spanish, except for these hard-coded keys that we've discussed earlier. So let's go to the Dine In, and you're going to see all of these individual command keys, these descriptions, subtotal, impuesto, todo debido, and the cancelar and all these things right here, you can see right there that all of these languages have been changed. Now you can see as well that these individual items are in English, and that's the thing that you can do. Now I wanted to show you that you need to actually have it toggled permanently to for the menu items, have it toggled permanently for the individual language function to choose that secondary language instead of just the primary language that's set to the terminal, okay? Now, let's get out of here and let's go into the back, and you can see as well that all these right here are in Spanish as well. Now, let's change this back. Go back to Oscar, and we'll go back to English, and we're done. And we'll click back in here, and you'll see that it's back to normal, back to English, okay? So you can see that there's a variety of ways to use those settings. Now again, the Windows Language Pack, when you're typing in, let's go to Inventory Setup. Actually, let's go to Menu Setup, and let's go to the Kids menu again and look at those chicken fingers. Now granted, right here you can have the language pack appear on this top part of the screen, and you can choose pretty much any language because all you're using is within Windows the ability to utilize a variety of languages and actually use the keyboard to hit the strokes that you need to have appear and have the language appear. So you can see that there is a variety of languages that you can use within the system. Now native are all those different changes that we looked at, how all the description, all the modifiers, all those different buttons, all the back office are translated. Now if you use just the language pack, only the items are going to be translated, but the printer in the kitchen can actually translate those as well. So you can see communication can be really comprehensively used and within the system to give you the ability to have any type of employee that does a great job, but with respect to their language barriers, we can really try and supersede that with this system. And you can see that it's a huge benefit.